Empathy is hard. Today I want to talk about what I think the most important part of Groundhog Day, the musical, is, which is empathy, or at least Groundhog Day, the musical, as Tim Minchin writes it.
I feel like empathy is the key to everything. It's why you're a vegan in a way, because it's a sentient creature and you're empathizing with their suffering. Humanity goes wrong when it fails to empathize, and we have a natural amount of empathy, but we need to encourage empathy.
Empathy is the engine of social progress. Empathy is really important for us to have as theater people because we are stepping into the lives of others. You can't accurately portray someone if you don't, on some level, connect with who they are. You don't have to agree with them or like them or actually be anything like them in real life, but you have to maybe be open to it. So what's the problem, right? Empathy's real important. Why can't we all just have it? Wouldn't that be swell? Yes, it would. But I had a little lesson on Friday. Friday morning, I was at my job, just like jamming with my earbuds in, listening to some podcasts about empathy, and I was listening to Malcolm Gladwell's Revisionist History podcast, which is real good. And I was like, man, empathy's so great, why can't everybody just have it? And then I found out why it's so hard. So after work, I go to the bank to put my tips that I got into the ATM, and I don't count it beforehand, and I put all my cash in the ATM, and it swallows it and does not transfer the money to my account. And it's my bad for not counting it. Although in my defense, I'm not great at counting, so usually I'd let the machines do that because they're great at counting. So it took some of my money, it gave some of it back to me, and I was like, well, I guess I just lost X amount of dollars, I better go inside the bank. And I went inside the bank, and this woman, I don't know what kind of day she's had, but from the moment that I walk up there, she just hates me with every single fiber of her being. As I was telling her the story of what just happened, I could see her face dragging down to the underworld. She was not happy with me. Oh, so you didn't count it, did you? No, you just shoved it in there without counting it. Yes? Yeah. Okay. Well, let me see what I can do. How much do you think you lost? Well, I don't know. I didn't count it before. Oh, yes, you didn't count it before, so right. And she was acting exactly like that. Not even blowing this out of proportion. This was insane. I wish I had Google Glass, because I would have recorded that shit and watched it over and over again. It would be more entertaining if I wasn't the person on the other end of it. If I wasn't the person on the other end of it thinking, is this tiny little woman gonna jump over the counter and claw my throat out like a bobcat? So I was like, I'm gonna go back to my work and see if I can find out how much money I probably lost. Okay. Alright. Well, we're open till 6, and our regional branch is open till 7. You can come back tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, alright. So I go. Oh, and the first time I told her, hey, it was probably $10. So this whole thing, she's having all this trouble with the computer, and it's over, the $10 that I lost. Which is a lot for me, because it's my money, but for her, it's she has people with $20,000 coming in, probably. I don't know. So she's like, all of this because of your $10 that you couldn't even bother to count before you put in the machine. So I get it, but this woman was insane. I left the bank thinking what the hell is up with this woman? How does she get through life? You're ridiculous. You can't do, is that what you do every day of your life? And of course it's not. Of course that's not what happens. So I come back, and I'm like, hey, it was probably $19. And she's like, okay. And she's very apologetic, very civil. She still kind of hates me, but she's she knows that she stepped over the bound. But, she's very apologetic, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. And I didn't spend a lot of time on apologizing. I was just like, I think it would be best for both of us if I just, like, go and, like, do not ever come back. The thing is, if I had left that bank and I hadn't come back, I would have this image of her in my head forever as, oh yeah, this crazy angry lady at the bank. But that's not who she is, probably. I mean, I don't know her, but for me to assume based on one interaction that is all this woman is, she's a complex human being like everyone else on Earth. So to tie this into Groundhog Day, I think this is why it takes Phil Connors forever to finally get it, to finally go from philandering to philanthropy, to finally go from philanthropy, to finally go from philandering to philanthropy. Because he walks by Ned Ryerson every day, and to him, Ned Ryerson is this annoying jackass who won't leave him alone, but he's got other shit going on when he's not trying to sell insurance. That's the thing, and that's like every single person in that town. So as theater people, we should always have this in mind, not to like preach to you. I can't preach to you because I literally like just made the mistake myself, but like, I don't know, just remember that everyone is a person. And, you know, maybe if you had unlimited Groundhog Day time and you got to know somebody, maybe not everyone is actually a good person when you get to know them, but I would say that probably like 99% of people are like decent. Although looking at the comments on YouTube and Reddit sometimes, I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's just those 1%. Anyway, I'll see you next time, which will be shortly, because we're ramping this shit up. Tell me if you like seeing my face now. I know that's weird, but here it is. In the comments, tell me about a story when you unfairly judged someone. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Anyway, bye.